not having a quality is just as important as having one. If everyone had every quality, then there would be constant competition and eventually boredom. Differing qualities allows the world to stay in balance. Prudes may be downers at times, but they keep the party from getting too out of hand. Therefore, I say that my positive outlook benefits my community and that I don't have one. Not having a positive outlook can be beneficial to the community in many ways. For instance, people sometimes need a hint of realism to keep their feet on the ground. Dreamers can make big plans to build amazing projects all day long. More power to them. But at the end of the day, someone has to say it just cannot be done. I have had to be that person on numerous occasions. In most every instance, it was better that something was said earlier, when the dream was still insubstantial, than when there had been energy and time put into it. A cynical outlook can also help to motivate, believe it or not. When applied correctly, a bit of doubt can spur people to work harder in order to prove the doubter wrong. This is a classic example of the homeostasis provided by opposites. When trying to teach a dance to some fellow students, I motivated them to work harder by expressing doubt that we would finish in time. Moderation is key. Too much of a good thing can be bad, while too little of a bad thing can be harmful as well. However, just the right amount of good and just the right amount of bad may make a perfect whole. Positivism is great. It is effective, motivating, and much happier than the alternative. Lack of positivism can be good too, although not in large amounts. Most people should strive to be positive, and 9 times out of 10 it is more beneficial to be positive than negative. Yet, some people simply have a cynical outlook. These cynical people act as anchors for civilization. Without a firm grasp of reality that sometimes only cynicism can provide, humankind would have floated away on clouds long ago. Cynics are more important than they think themselves, having surprisingly negative views of themselves. I try to do my part to hold down civilization, as balloon salesmen do balloons, by offering a dose of reality when it is needed. Some consider me too loud-mouthed, blabbering or blithering for their tastes, but I consider it my duty to keep people's heads out of the clouds. The right word placed here or there can change a person's entire view of something. It can save a life, a future, a hope. When you hear words such as negative, cynical, and dream breaker, you automatically think depressing, bad, corrosive, must avoid at all costs. However, such things are very important to society as a whole, as well as people as individuals, and can be very beneficial, and sometimes even bring happiness. A negative outlook can be very helpful at times. I, for one, find it useful for all sorts of tasks. It's not easy having a more cynical outlook. People tend not to want to be around you or listen to you. I can understand why. However, sometimes we as human beings need to hear the bad news, and who better to deliver it? Right now you're probably thinking, what's wrong with this girl? This was not the question, this is depressing. Depressing it may be, but sometimes we need that. The question was, how does my positive outlook benefit my community? I answered, it benefits my community by not being in existence. I believe that this is a valid answer. Over the course of this essay, I have provided the reasons. At the end of the day, I provide a dose of reality and can motivate people under the correct circumstances. This is an extremely important function that keeps my community in balance and running smoothly. It is not always a pleasant task, but it is always a necessary one. The next time you're feeling a little bit negative, don't be afraid to share your cynicism with the world. Who knows? You just might save it.